Hi, my name is Efrem Walter from Uganda, and welcome to another day and another recording in the Whitefish Chess Academy. Today we have another game from the Super Belt Chess Championship in Romania, and today's game is going to feature Deac Bogdan, who is playing against Grandmaster Wesley So. And Grandmaster Wesley So with the white pieces, and the game was an English setup it more looks like a reverse Sicilian. So this was a beautiful game, ended in disaster for Deac. You will see the game, pretty much drawn game on this level for one master that should be really a draw. Something unfortunate happened in the um, dying moments in the time scramble. You're just gonna see that that's a very beautiful game. I played this system quite a bit and I enjoyed the entire setup. Mainly leads to drawish positions. You really need to be very careful as black. But yeah, let's dive right into this game. Welcome aboard. So the game went c4. GM was the show with white pieces. e5. Now, this is a typical theoretical setup, one of the most effective against the c4 systems where you go, knight c6, knight f6, d5, etc. And sometimes you even play the d6 system and close it out. And it's a very unique system for black. I've faced that a lot. It's not very easy to deal with. Kind of gives black a good center. But anyway, let's see how this game went. Knight c3, the most common move. Bishop b4. Now, this move just threatens to, just create a damage pawn structure on the white side. So white plays an interesting knight d5, bishop goes back to e7. Now you might wonder why are we having to go through back and forth and so on. But of course, the knights have been misplaced on d5, and so black is happy to trade it on e7 because that is a critical piece that white actually uses in the setup. So he doesn't take it. Knight f3 is played. d6, like I had mentioned before, g3. Now, the typical fianchetto system of the um, English opening comes in. So c6, and this is what I was saying, the knight's kicked, and now because they want to lose a tempo, he just captures the pawn, takes with the knight. Very reasonable, because you want to castle in one move. So b4. I like b4. It's a typical idea here. You have ideas like b, five, sometimes even c4, of course, c5, not of course not in this position, and also maybe a4, a5, or even just an a3 just to hold the position, followed by b, bishop to b2, or sometimes bishop a3, and then you have flexibility rook b1, rook c1, and those kind of structures. But anyways, I like it. So bishop b4 was played, c6 was played. I mean f6 is a funny move. You might wonder, why did he play this move? I'm also still trying to figure that out. It looks a bit strange, but well, probably trying to prevent knight from going to g5 when he brings his bishop out. I don't know. It's just complicated to understand why he played that move. There is no game found with those moves in the database. So it's a funny idea. So bishop to g2, normal stuff from white, bishop e6, which could have been played even with the knight in that position. d3, obviously protecting the pawn. Queen 7, castles, not afraid of the bishop h3. This is nothing to worry about. You just continue with your setup, and black will lose tempo if you bring this bishop for exchange. So a5 was played, b times a5, queen c7, just protecting the pawn, c5, rook to b1. Thematic. So many ideas. The rooks are here, weakness of e7, weakness a2, queen is in a centralized but funny position. Bishop will probably go to d2 to kick out the knight, or maybe at some point go to a3 later on, or b2. There's still so much to play for. White is going to pile these pieces on the b file. So the fight is just beginning. So knight develops to c6, queen goes to b2, strange move. It's more like a concession. Let's take out all the material and just have an easy draw. Castles, queen takes, takes, queen takes, bishop takes, knight goes back. Knight is just going to be route through e5. So knight develops into this square. White defends the pawn. There's not so much. Soon white's actually going to play e3 and kick out the knight anyway. See how the game went. So here anyone can play. The game is just very simple to play for anyone. And the most self-explanatory. Black has weaknesses, white has few weaknesses. Game is dead equal, according to the engine. So bishop comes for the exchange, rook goes for the exchange, and this is a draw. Knight retreats. Simple stuff, nothing. Finally, the e3 position pawn has been moved. Black's position can be penetrated. White's position cannot be penetrated at all. So you expect lots of maneuvering of pieces in this closed position. So king goes forward. Centralize the kings. This is a draw by any standard. There's simply no way that you can actually make any progress, even as a grandmaster, where you're playing much lower rated player. But the end game is simply very easy to play, and there's not so much counterplay that you can create anywhere. But anyways, let's look at the game. e5, take out the knights, white is expanding slowly. Rook exchange, and this is now totally drawn. Engine's analysis is 0.0. There is nothing. There is no one that can make any progress in this game. But just keep watching. So expansion on the king and on the king side for white. The knights maneuver themselves. Okay, black tries to break the pawn structure, attacks the knight. Just look at this. Now, a tricky move there, g5, and then black captures the pawn, white captures the knight, so you have to be very careful. And the time on the clock, the Wesley had 1 minute and 15 seconds. Bogdan, Deac, Daniel had only 53 seconds on the clock. So you can see what happened, and then a fatal blunder. And there is no way to prevent white from winning with pawn moving to f8, queen. And Deac resigned at that moment. But from a dead drawn position, just take away the knight to like c6, everything is set. But chess, it's not like that. Chess is a hard game. You have to swallow some of his pills. He resigned in this position. Very unfortunate for him, but a recent win and a good point for GM Wesley to start the tournament very well. Thank you for viewing. The next videos will be coming out very soon. We hope you enjoy them. Continue to subscribe, watch, share, and like. Have a blessed day.